Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another video, and this is part 3 of the makeup artist series. In this video I'm going to break down pricing, rates, how to set your rates, and I'm also going to share what I charge as a makeup artist in my area for brides. So if you're interested, let's get started. It is like so cold in my room, I feel like, and I have allergies, so just excuse my voice ahead of time if I sound a little bit stuffy, but I just wanted to get that out there because I just feel like I keep talking through my nose. So setting your prices as a makeup artist can be a little bit tricky, and it all depends on where you live, where you're from, and amongst other things as well. So the first thing that I would do is, if you're just starting out as a makeup artist and you're trying to figure out where to price yourself, how to price yourself, is the first thing you would want to do is look at the average in your area. You want to find out what the makeup artists in your area are charging. So I would check their websites, also check salons in your area, look at their websites and look at the pricing that they have online for makeup application. If you don't find that, oftentimes it is on there, but if you don't find that, you can always give them a call. Either call the makeup artist or call the salon and just find out what they're charging for makeup application. And I would just get as many prices as possible and then compare those prices to the experience that the artist has. So look at the amount of followers, for example, that the makeup artist has on their social media channels, and how long have they been in business, how many years they've been working as a makeup artist, and then look at their price. And then same thing for salons. Gather as much information as you possibly can, and then kind of look at everything, at everybody's experience, and then what they're charging themselves as, and then place yourself somewhere around there. So depending on how much experience you have, you know, what kind of products are you using in your kit? Are they luxury? Are they high-end? I mean, are they drugstore, or is it like 50-50? And then kind of try and put yourself somewhere in that bracket. One thing I'm going to say right away is, do not, please do not undercharge. Do not undercharge below like what the lowest is. So if you're, for example, so if a makeup artist is charging, let's say $75 for a bridesmaid, please do not start charging at $50 and lower than the average minimum. It's just not almost a good look for you, because you want people still to trust you and still to book you. You don't want to get clients. Oftentimes, from personal experience, those clients that are paying a lot less are the ones that you will have the most trouble with. I found that from my experience. So you always just want to be somewhere, you know, in the average, maybe on the lower end, but still on that average side of what others are also charging, just so you're also, you know, paying yourself first of all, because it's a lot, you know, that goes into being a makeup artist, keeping up your kit, traveling, etc. So you want to place yourself somewhere around there. And this is my personal opinion, but I always say to go a little bit above. So if the minimum is like $75, I would highly recommend you maybe charge $85 if you feel like that is, you know, that you're worth that. For example, in terms of, like I said, experience, your kit, like how much you're putting into it, etc. I also highly recommend kind of making friends with other makeup artists on social media, especially in your area, just because you can recommend clients to each other, and you know, once you build some kind of relationship with those people, you may need them one day. You never know. Sometimes you may have a large wedding and you would need another makeup artist to assist you or help you with that wedding, and vice versa. So I think that's a really helpful tip. Don't see them as competition. It's more so they're your friends, they're your colleagues, and you may need each other one day. So definitely, you know, support other makeup artists in your area, and that is something really, really important. Another thing to consider in your pricing is travel, and then also lashes. Oftentimes clients ask, are the lashes included? So you want to, you know, when you give them a price for a bride, for example, you want to make sure you let them know, are the lashes included in that price, or are they not? Is it an additional amount, and things like that. Personally, what I do is I just have one set amount for bridesmaids, one set amount for bridal makeup, whether they want lashes or not. Oftentimes also they do end up getting lashes, or if we don't do a whole strip, I will usually put some individual lashes on them anyways, and they end up loving it. So I find that we still use lashes no matter what. That's why I don't really have that option of no lashes or lashes, and even if somebody doesn't want it, the price stays the same. That is just what I find easier, and it's what worked for me for the past 4.5-5 years. So that is how I've kept it. That is something you want to think about, whether you want to have it as an add-on or if you want it to be already part of the price. Another thing is travel. Do you want to have travel included in your price? I feel like that is something that is a little bit more difficult and can get a little bit more confusing, so I would highly recommend you keep the travel like a whole separate thing and have a whole separate line item for it in your contract. You want to set travel pricing based on where you are traveling, and also what time are you starting to do makeup and what time does everybody have to be finished by. Let's say you have 9 people and they have to be finished at 11 a.m. You do not have enough time to start at a reasonable time at 7 a.m. and everybody, all 9 people be done by 11 a.m. So that is something you also want to consider. So you know, okay, travel, you have to consider that you are traveling there and then you're also traveling back. So you wanna, the way you should charge travel, not should, this is what I recommend, and this is what I do, is you want to travel per mile. So actually back when I started, I did not charge the first 20 miles from wherever the area that I'm from. So I'm in Boston, Massachusetts, and I did not charge a travel fee for the first 20 miles. So once we are past the 20 miles, that is when I used to charge the travel fee. And you can charge 50 cents a mile, you can charge 75 cents a mile, however, whatever works for you, whatever you feel like is reasonable for your area. And again, you can have the radius of being the first 20 miles are free or no charge, the first 15, 10, however you want to price it. That is something that you should look into and do separately depending on client, depending on the location. The next thing that you should consider is an early start fee. Like I mentioned earlier, if you need to have everybody ready by 11 a.m. and there's 9 people, it is impossible to get them all ready by 11 a.m. if you start at 7 a.m., which is a reasonable time, right? You would need to start at like 3 a.m. or something like that. So you either have to bring another artist to help you, or I mean, either way, you'll have to start early. So you might want to consider charging an early start fee. So if you have to start at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m., you can charge like a $50 or $100 early start fee, because you need to consider yourself waking up at 4 a.m., for example. And then your drive there is, let's say, an hour and a half. So you wake up at 4, you leave at 4:35, and then you get there by like 6 or 7. So you need to consider the fact that you're waking up an hour to 2 hours earlier and then driving there for another hour. So an early start fee is very, very important. I feel like it's oftentimes also forgotten. So don't forget to take that into consideration also, and set an early start time fee for yourself, whatever you consider early. Another thing that you want to make sure that you take into consideration is a holiday fee. So oftentimes there are weddings on holidays, even the 4th of July or big holidays like that. So you are going to be away from your friends and family, not being able to celebrate those holidays with them or go on vacation. And you know, if there's like a long weekend or something like that, you want to make sure you are charging a holiday fee for those times, like I said, because you are going to be away from your family and from your friends and not being able to spend that time with them. Instead, you're going to be working. So usually from experience, what I've seen and what I do myself is that I do charge a holiday fee as well. To make a little bit of extra cash also, you can consider doing something like a luxury skin prep for clients. So either way, no matter what, you should be doing a proper skin prep for every single client, just so the makeup looks nice. But something that might be really, really fun is doing like a luxury package for either the bride or even the bridesmaids or the mother of the bride, of doing maybe like a mini facial or like a face mask or a nice scrub or like a peel pad. Something to just kind of, you know, do a nice quick little facial on their skin to get them ready for makeup, just so they feel really, really pampered on the special day. That is something to consider, you know, and create that like a separate package or like an add-on that they could pay extra for. It's something I do not do, but I have considered it in the past, but I just never added it in as something, because I like to keep my pricing very, very simple, to the point, and like very like black and white almost. That's what I find that works best for me. But that is something that you could totally do, and that would, you know, again, be another kind of source of income for you. And now on to what I charge as a bridal makeup artist. Again, it's so different in every single area depending where you are. It could be Texas, it could be New York, it could be Colorado. It's just, pricing is so different and depends on so many things. So please, you know, don't like judge harshly, I guess I should say. But so for my brides, my bridal makeup day of, I charge $350 to $400 for bridal makeup. And now that does not include the trial itself. So a lot of times not a lot of times actually, I've seen some artists kind of make it the trial be part of the price. For me, it is not. A trial has a different price, and then bridesmaids have a whole different price, a lot less for bridal makeup. And then the bride itself, on the day of, I charge $300 to $400 for bride alone. And that includes proper skin prep, that includes eyelashes and everything like that. And that is kind of a little bit above average in my area, but that is the type of clientele that I have. That is the type of clientele that I want. That is what I feel is right to charge, and that is what I want to charge. So I know a couple of artists that charge more, and I know a lot more artists that charge a little bit less but close to what I'm charging now. So I'm kind of like in that weird middle in my area specifically. Back when I first started doing makeup, I was actually charging I think my first wedding I ever did, I think I charged like maybe $85 or like $100 for the bride, and then bridesmaids were like $50 or something like that. I was charging very little, and definitely undercharging for quite some time, and then my pricing grew into $150. I remember my pricing grew to $200 and then $250, and I was so scared to tell people my pricing whenever I was, was getting inquiries, and I would answer them and tell them, yes, bridal makeup is like $250, let's say. People were booking no problem. They were happy to book. They felt like you were worth that, and that is the kind of clients that you want. You want people to want to pay you because they want you to be their artist, because they like your personality, because they like your work. They want you there on your special day. But yes, it's just a little bit humbling to look back, because I remember charging $200 to $250, and I would be afraid to tell my brides how much pricing would be, but people book no problem. So you have to start somewhere. Again, look at everything I've mentioned previously and kind of go from there. And you can, of course, based on experience, based on the classes you take and everything like that, you can eventually put your charge more and more and more. Usually every year or every 2 years you can up your pricing a little bit. So that is it, you guys. I hope this video was helpful and interesting for you to watch. I hope you learned something from it. If you have any questions at all, please leave them down in the comments below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.